Welcome to our channel History of Coins, where we explore the hidden gems of numismatics. In today's video, we're diving into the fascinating world of U.S. state quarter-dollar coins, as some of these coins are rare and can make you rich overnight. In this video, we are gonna uncover the rarest coins and their values. So make sure to watch the complete video and find out if you have one of these. Now let's continue our today's video. Top 1 today. We're diving into a little piece of American history that most people take for granted, the 2001 United States quarter dollar from Kentucky. But trust me, this isn't your everyday pocket change. If you're into rare coins, unusual minting quirks, or just want to know whether your old change could be worth a fortune, you'll want to stick around until the very end. Imagine holding in your hand a quarter that was part of a grand national series celebrating the birth and growth of the 50 states. When the 2001 Kentucky quarter first came out, it joined the illustrious 50 states quarter program. Millions were minted. Everyday coins meant to flip through cash registers and roll through change jars. On the surface, it looks like an ordinary quarter, the familiar profile of George Washington on the obverse, and on the reverse, the design honoring Kentucky, a soaring eagle over the phrase Commonwealth of Kentucky, 1792. Accompanied by 13 stars to represent the founding states. Most of these quarters ended up in pockets, wallets, and commutes, not in airtight albums where they'd patiently wait for decades. Because of that massive production, regular circulation mint quarters from 2001 rarely fetch more than $1 or $2 today. But here's where it gets interesting. Deep in the world of numismatics, a few extraordinary specimens have surfaced. Coins so rare and so strangely minted that they've caught the attention of serious collectors. We're talking about error coins, misstrikes, and unusual planchet anomalies that instantly elevate a coin from everyday to extraordinary. Some of the most sought-after varieties related to the 2001 Kentucky quarter include double die obverse. On very rare circulation pieces, the George Washington portrait or the rim lettering may show doubling, a ghosted outline, as if the die slipped mid-strike. These double die errors might affect only letters or fine details, making them subtle and easy to miss at a glance. But under magnification, they reveal a coin that escaped standard inspection, potentially turning a routine quarter into a rare find. Off-center strikes. Occasionally, a quarter might be struck just slightly off-center, so that part of the eagle or the rim is cut off. If the off-center error is significant, say, a 25 to 35% cut, and the coin remains well struck and free from damage, rarity shoots up. Planchet irregularities. In even rarer cases, a quarter might be struck on a wrong planchet, e.g. a clad metal error, or a defective blank, or with a clipped planchet. These anomalies are extremely uncommon and highly prized because they defy the usual uniformity of coin production. Now, in the numismatic world, rarity isn't just about how many were minted. It's about how many survive in collectible condition and how many have unusual features that make them stand out. Of course, the vast majority of 2001 Kentucky quarters you or I might find in loose change today will show wear, scratches, rim nicks, and oxidation. Those coins are for circulating, not collecting. But now and then, one rises above the crowd, an uncirculated mint set piece, or better yet, an uncirculated coin bearing a rare mint error. When that happens, collectors start paying attention. When you combine perfect condition, no scratches, full mint luster, crisp details, with a legitimate mint error, perhaps a double die, or an off-center strike by a few millimeters, suddenly this unassuming quarter becomes a specimen worthy of serious collecting consideration. It's no longer just a piece of change. It's a billboard of minting history, a testament to the intricate and imperfect process of coin production. And for true coin enthusiasts, that's what makes the 2001 Kentucky quarter so tantalizing. It's like a hidden door in a massive castle, one that opens only for rare coins that manage to slip through quality control and survive decades unscathed. Now, here's the part that gets many collectors' hearts racing. On certain niche forums and private listings, always labeled for serious coin collectors only, there are claims that a top-tier error Kentucky quarter from 2001, in pristine, uncirculated condition, has sold for as much as $92,000. That's right, $92,000 for a single quarter. These claims usually involve coins described as double die obverse, mint state uncirculated, or significant off-center error, proof-like surface, perfect luster. Whether those coins actually exchanged hands at that price or remain aspirational asking prices, they've already sparked wide interest across coin collecting communities. Of course, you won't find dozens of these quarters lying around. If you ever come across one of the rare error varieties in pristine condition, you'll likely get offers from serious collectors immediately. And the value, real or hypothetical, depends heavily on verification. Clear photographs, third-party grading if possible, and confirmation of genuine mint error rather than post-mint damaged. So, if you happen to dig into your old coin rolls or inherited coins from a grandparent's stash, and you find a 2001 Kentucky quarter that looks unusually perfect or weirdly struck, treat it gently. Examine it closely, maybe under magnification. Observe the rim lettering. Look for doubling, check for sintering, and note any strange planchet marks. If it still looks sharp, untouched, and odd in a minting error way, you might just be holding a coin that's more than just pocket change. You might be holding a treasure for all you collectors, treasure hunters, and everyday coin admirers. Keep your eyes open, because you never know when a little quarter from Kentucky could turn into something much, much bigger. And if you do find that rare, perfect, error-struck 2001 Kentucky quarter, it could be worth a staggering $92,000. Top 2, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins from the legendary 50-state quarters program, the 2000 Massachusetts quarter dollar. At first glance, it looks like everyday pocket change, but beneath the surface lies a world of rare varieties, shocking mint errors, and collector excitement that has turned a simple 25-cent coin into a prized discovery. The story begins with the year 2000, a year that marked one of the high points of the state quarters program. Millions of Americans were collecting the quarters as they came out, and the Massachusetts state design was one of the most recognizable. The reverse features the Minuteman statue, a tribute to the heroic spirit of the American Revolution. He stands tall with musket in hand, representing the bravery and determination of early patriots. Behind him, the outline of the state gives the whole design a bold and distinctive profile. Every detail on this quarter was crafted to represent history, courage, and the identity of Massachusetts. But here's the twist. Even though millions of Massachusetts quarters rolled through vending machines, cash registers, and pockets across the country, only a tiny fraction survived with unique traits that make collectors sit up and pay attention. Most circulated pieces show scratches, wear, rim dents, and years of handling. But the rare jewels, the extraordinary finds, are the ones that never saw a day of circulation or were struck with minting mistakes that set them apart forever. So, what exactly makes a Massachusetts 2000 quarter rare? Let's talk mint errors, the heart of coin collecting excitement. One of the most fascinating errors involves doubled features. On certain extremely unusual pieces, the rim lettering, parts of the Minuteman statue, or bits of the background appear doubled, as if the die stamped the coin twice with a slight shift. These double die appearances are incredibly subtle to the untrained eye, yet when professionally examined, they can transform a common quarter into a rare prize. The key is the doubling must come from the minting process, not damage after the coin left the mint. Genuine doubling creates crisp, shadowed outlines that collectors consider the gold standard of error discoveries. Another rare type of error is an off-center strike. Every coin is supposed to be perfectly aligned between the dies, but sometimes a blank planchet slips, just enough to push the design off its normal resting place. The result? A Minuteman who appears shifted, or parts of the rim that look incomplete. Slight off-center errors aren't particularly special, but when the misalignment is dramatic, around 30% or more, that's when collectors start getting excited. The more dramatic the shift without losing key details, the higher the value climbs. But that's not all. There are even rarer planchet errors, coins struck on the wrong metal, or blanks that were improperly cut, leaving curved clips or strange indentations. These pieces don't just stand out visually. They tell a story about the minting process itself, a story of machines out of sync and coins that escape the usual precision of United States mint standards. These are the coins collectors dream of finding in old jars, inherited rolls, or forgotten boxes stored away for decades. What makes these error varieties so compelling is not just their rarity, but their unpredictability. You never know when one might appear. You might pull a Massachusetts quarter from a worn-out bankroll expecting nothing unusual, only to discover that the design is off-center or that the details show doubling. And if the coin also happens to be in uncirculated condition, with bright luster, no scratches, and full sharpness, then you may be holding something truly extraordinary. Collectors love this combination of mystery and history. The Massachusetts 2000 quarter has become one of those coins that people look at closely, very closely. It's a coin that teaches you to slow down, examine every edge, pay attention to every detail, and appreciate the artistry and occasional imperfections of minting. It's the kind of coin that reminds treasure hunters why they search in the first place. And here's the exciting part that always sends a shockwave through the coin collecting world. In extremely rare circumstances, we're talking about a Massachusetts quarter from the year 2000 that is both uncirculated and struck with a dramatic, eye-catching mint error. Collectors have discussed values reaching as high as $88,000. Top 3, we're going on a fascinating journey into the world of the 2002 Louisiana State Quarter. This is one of the most visually striking and historically rich coins in the entire 50 state quarters program. And for collectors, it hides some remarkable surprises. And if you're a coin lover who examines every detail carefully, this coin may just become one of your all-time favorites. When the Louisiana quarter was released in 2002, it celebrated one of the most significant moments in American history, the Louisiana Purchase. The reverse design features the outline of the state along with a detailed image of the pelican, Louisiana's state bird, spreading its wings with quiet confidence. But right behind this proud symbol sits something extraordinary, a tiny map representing the vast territory that was bought from France in 1803. That one purchase changed the shape of the United States forever, doubling its size and setting the stage for westward expansion. This coin captures that moment in a way only great designs can: simple, elegant, and filled with meaning. Now, millions of these coins poured out of the mint and into circulation. They ended up in vending machines, grocery stores, bus stations, and probably in your own pockets without you even noticing. Most of them lived ordinary lives, collecting dents, scratches, and years of heavy wear. But hidden among this ocean of ordinary coins are a few rare exceptions. Coins so unusual and so perfectly preserved that they've become legends among collectors. What makes the Louisiana quarter from 2002 rare or even extremely valuable? Let's explore the exciting world of mint errors, the key ingredient that transforms a simple 25-cent coin into a collector's dream point. One of the most fascinating error types involves doubling. Imagine the pelican or the outline of the state appearing almost shadowed, with a faint second impression just slightly offset from the first. This is known as a double die error, and it happens only in the early stages of die creation, making it incredibly rare. A genuine double die Louisiana quarter will show crisp, clean doubling, not the blurred smearing you see from damage later in circulation. Another error collectors love is an off-center strike. If a coin isn't seated perfectly in the press when the dies come together, the entire design shifts off the center. This can result in the pelican appearing too close to the rim or parts of the map being cut off entirely. Minor off-center strikes aren't too special, but when the misalignment is dramatic, 20, 30, even 40% off-center, then you have a rarity that collectors race to acquire. There are also planchet errors, some of the most interesting mistakes in all of numismatics. These include clipped planchets where a curved portion of the coin is missing, misaligned reading where the edges appear uneven, and sometimes even coins struck on incorrect metal blanks. These unusual metal errors are exceptionally scarce, and in the world of Louisiana quarters, any confirmed wrong planchet specimen becomes an instant headline. But rarity alone isn't enough. Condition is everything. A Louisiana quarter with a dramatic mint error but heavy wear loses much of its value. On the other hand, an uncirculated coin with perfect luster, sharp details, and a flawless strike becomes a prize that collectors dream of adding to their collection. And if that same uncirculated coin also features a bold, unmistakable error, it becomes the kind of treasure people tell stories about for years. Collectors love this coin because it's not only historically important and beautifully designed, but also unpredictable. Louisiana quarters with major errors are not common. They don't show up in every roll or in every bag of coins. They appear unexpectedly, sometimes found by beginners, sometimes discovered by seasoned collectors who've looked at thousands of coins before finally spotting a truly rare piece. This unpredictability gives the Louisiana quarter an aura of mystery. Every time someone finds one that seems a little strange, doubled, clipped, shifted, or unusually shiny, they inspect it with excitement, wondering whether they've uncovered one of the big ones. And if you're someone who looks closely at your coins, this is one you'll want to examine from every angle. Because in a few incredibly rare cases, a 2002 Louisiana state quarter with a major mint error, preserved in stunning uncirculated condition, has been discussed among high-end collectors and specialized auction circles as being worth as much as $85,000. Top for we're exploring a coin that many collectors overlook, yet it holds some of the most fascinating mint errors and hidden rarities in the entire state quarter series, the 2003 Arkansas quarter dollar. This coin, celebrating a state known for its natural beauty, river heritage, and gemstone treasures, has quietly become one of the most intriguing finds for coin hunters across America. When the Arkansas quarter was released in 2003, it featured a truly unique design. On the reverse, you'll see a graceful mallard duck taking flight above a calm lake, with tall reeds rising from the water's edge. In the background rests a shimmering diamond, a reference to Arkansas being home to the only active diamond mine in the United States. The whole scene captures the heart of the state, its wildlife, its wilderness, and its remarkable natural gifts. It stands out among all the state quarters for its elegant, peaceful look, something you can almost feel just by glancing at it. Millions of these quarters entered circulation across the country, from grocery stores to gas stations, from laundromats to lemonade stands. Most of them lived a long, ordinary life, picking up scratches, dents, and years of wear. But the real excitement for collectors lies in the handful that slipped through the minting process with unusual traits that turn them into valuable rarities. And if you're a coin lover who enjoys examining every detail and discovering hidden oddities, the Arkansas quarter may very well be one of your new favorites. One of the most exciting error varieties for this coin involves doubled details. On some extremely rare pieces, the lettering or the fine lines around the duck and the diamond show what looks like a soft shadow, a second outline slightly shifted from the first. This doubling happens only during the die creation process, making it a true mint origin error and not something caused by damage. Genuine double die errors are highly prized, and the Arkansas examples are especially sought after due to their crisp lines and subtle beauty. Off-center strikes are another thrilling error collectors look for. Imagine the duck shifted too far left, or the diamond resting too close to the rim, or even the edge of the design appearing cut off. When a planchet isn't seated perfectly in the press, the entire image shifts, sometimes dramatically. Coins with off-center strikes that still keep key design elements fully visible are among the rarest and most valuable pieces a collector can hope to find. Then there are planchet errors, some of the most unusual mistakes in all of numismatics. A clipped planchet can give the coin a strange curved bite mark along its edge, while a misaligned die can give the rim an uneven, distorted appearance. In extremely rare circumstances, a quarter can even be struck on a wrong metal blank, leading to strange colors, unusual weights, or different resonance when tapped. These rare pieces are instantly recognizable to experts and highly desirable to anyone who loves error coins. But rarity alone isn't what turns an Arkansas quarter into a treasure. Condition matters just as much. A stunning mint error on a coin that has been heavily circulated loses much of its value. But an error on a coin that has somehow survived untouched, with full original luster, razor-sharp details, and flawless fields, becomes something extraordinary. When a collector sees a coin like that, their heart skips a beat, and that's what keeps treasure hunters searching through old rolls, inherited collections, and forgotten jars in closets and garages. They know that the Arkansas quarter is one of those coins that can hold surprises. Sometimes the errors are obvious. Sometimes they're subtle and hiding in plain sight. And sometimes they're so impressive that they completely change what the coin is worth. Collectors love this coin for exactly that reason: its unpredictability. You never know when the next remarkable Arkansas quarter is going to show up, and every time you pick one up, there's that moment of excitement where you turn it under the light, check for doubling, examine the rims, and look for any oddities in the design. Because in the rarest of cases, an uncirculated 2003 Arkansas quarter with a major, eye-catching mint error. Collectors have discussed values reaching as high as $82,000. Top 5, we're diving deep into one of the most impressive designs in the entire state quarter program, the 2006 South Dakota quarter dollar. This coin, celebrating a state famous for its rugged landscapes and iconic landmarks, has become a quiet legend among collectors. Not because every South Dakota quarter is rare, but because a handful of them contain mint errors so dramatic and so unusual that they've captured the attention of treasure hunters across America. When the South Dakota quarter was released in 2006, it instantly stood out. The reverse of the coin proudly displays one of the greatest American monuments, Mount Rushmore. You can see the faces of George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Theodore Roosevelt, and Abraham Lincoln carved into the towering granite cliffs, a tribute to the nation's spirit and strength. Surrounding the monument, a detailed ring-necked pheasant takes flight over the outline of the state, symbolizing South Dakota's wildlife heritage. The entire design feels bold, rugged, and unmistakably American. But what makes this coin truly interesting is not just its design. It's the unexpected minting quirks that occurred during production. Millions of South Dakota quarters entered circulation with no issues at all, but a very small number came out of the mint with errors so unusual that they transformed an ordinary quarter into a collector's prize. And those are the coins that make collectors inspect every detail with careful eyes and nervous excitement. One of the most impressive error types seen on the 2006 South Dakota quarter is the double die variety. In some rare cases, parts of the lettering, the feathers of the pheasant, or even fine lines around the Mount Rushmore carvings appear doubled. This doesn't come from damage or wear. True doubling happens during the die creation process, making it extremely rare and highly valuable. When you tilt the coin under light, the doubling appears like a crisp shadow, almost as if the details were stamped twice with perfect precision. Another fascinating error type is the off-center strike. Normally, coins are perfectly centered between the dies, but if a blank planchet shifts even slightly, the entire design can slide out of position. On the most dramatic examples, the pheasant appears shifted toward the rim, or parts of the state outline look slightly trimmed. The more extreme the misalignment, while still keeping important details visible, the higher the value climbs. Collectors love off-center strikes because each one is unique, a tiny moment where the minting machinery stumbled and created something unlike any other. Then there are planchet errors, which always spark curiosity. Some South Dakota quarters have been found with clipped planchets, where a curved section of the edge is missing. Others show lamination errors, where the metal surface peels or cracks from flaws in the alloy. And in extremely rare cases, a coin can be struck on the wrong metal altogether, producing a strange color, an unusual weight, or a metallic tone that sounds different when tapped. These wrong planchet coins are incredibly scarce, and when paired with an uncirculated condition, they become treasures that collectors immediately chase. But even the rarest error means little without excellent condition. A dramatic mint error on a heavily worn, scratched, or circulated coin loses much of its attraction. The real excitement comes when an error is paired with flawless, untouched surfaces, a coin that still glows with its original mint luster. When a South Dakota quarter like that appears, collectors know they've found something extraordinary, and bids start climbing quickly. What makes the search even more exciting is that these rare quarters can show up almost anywhere, in old jars, forgotten rolls, inherited collections, or even in normal pocket change. Every coin hunter knows the thrill of turning a coin under the light, checking for doubling, scanning the rims, inspecting the fine lines of the pheasant's wings, and hoping to spot something remarkable. The South Dakota quarter is one of those coins that demands a careful look every single time. And for the rarest of them all, the coins with dramatic mint errors preserved in brilliant, uncirculated condition, collectors have discussed values reaching as high as $80,000. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more amazing coin discoveries. Your support helps us keep bringing you exciting content every week.